Hey everybody, welcome back, and today we're going to be beginning a documentary for Happily Ever After. I wanted to document everything that goes on when it comes to creating these shows. A lot of people talk about these shows all the time and watch them all the time, but I wanted to take a little bit of time to dig into what exactly goes into creating one of these shows. So today we're going to be doing the part of this. We're going to be covering a whole bunch of stuff, from recording to positioning to editing to audio. We're going to be covering a lot in this video. Today right now we're going to show you the 4 spots that I will be shooting this show in the parks. At the time of recording this, I have already shot 2, so we have 2 more left to shoot tonight and the day after tomorrow. So let's skip the intro. Let's just jump in straight to our locations of where we recorded. Bear in mind that I'm shooting this with the GoPro. It's going to look a little bit different on this camera than it will on the 8K camera. So this is our back location. We're going to start from the back and work our way up. This location here is directly next to Casey's Corner. For anyone that's curious, when you see the show, when the show comes out and you're wondering where I shot the back angle from, that is where that is. Now we're going to be working on our final angle that we'll be shooting. Tonight we're shooting projections, so obviously we are really close to the castle. So as you can imagine, 2 hours before showtime we have to be there. We're going to come here and show you this section here. As to the day after tomorrow, I'll be shooting here. I feel like it's a really great spot, but it's just me, and it's right here. As of now, it's a good spot for if you were shooting like in 4K. My biggest thing is to be able to get the structure of the castle and 2 of the 4 pillars that is there. And we're going to move up a little bit more into the statue area section. We shot an angle here and messed it up really bad with our camera settings. We shot it right here. Probably won't use that angle too much in the video, just because the coloring and everything is it's really off. Not to mention the fact that I didn't have my camera at the height that I wanted it to be during that time. And the spot that we're going to be shooting at tonight, we're going to come right over here and show you guys. And it's probably a prime spot when it comes to recording projections and stuff like that. You don't have to be right here, but as long as you're somewhere in the vicinity, someone's in the spot that I'm at right now trying to take photos, but this is where we're going to be at tonight.
We go into my
as you can imagine, all the projections and everything are going to be right here, so it's a great spot to be able to get in on the projections. I'll be panning my camera in and out, up and around. I'll also be recording audio from here tonight because we've got quite a few speakers around here. So that's really straightforward. That's going to be all we're going to cover right now, because there's not much more that I can cover about, setting up and positioning. Since they've moved, our actual spot is right here on this S, right in front of the castle. With the 8K camera, it gets a lot closer and a lot clearer. It is like scorching hot right now. So we'll see you guys tonight when we get ready to set everything up, which is usually probably about 2 hours before showtime. So definitely plenty of light. So we'll see you guys tonight. All right, friends, welcome back. We are about 1 hour away from showtime. Thought I would dip in here, give you guys a little idea of what goes on here. We are here approximately we got here about 7:30. Show starts at 9, so 90 minutes prior to the show starting, we get here and we stake out our shot. This is the angle we're shooting tonight. Granted, when it comes out in the video, it's going to be a lot closer and a lot better quality because it's being shot with an 8K camera. So our setup is is this. As you can see, I use the backpack as extra stability for my tripod. And I shoot everything. I don't know what to tell you. Night before last, we were up close doing audio, and we were doing projections. It was just a really rough night trying to get everything, once everything got together. Shooting at Magic Kingdom is some of the most easiest but difficult things to do, because the positioning in which you have to get in order to shoot properly it's got to be flawless. And it all depends on the people who are around you that don't kick your tripod. That's the biggest thing. So during the show, if you're ever next to me, you'll see me have my hands on my tripod 100% of the time. That is, if somebody happens to bump it, the stability is not jerky as bad. I could just make the adjustments that I need to pretty quickly. And what I'll do is I'll remember that in that section. I'll be able to see that, and I won't include that in the video. So I'll pan to a different angle, which is the whole point of doing a multi-angle fireworks video, is because if one little part messes up in one of your angles, then you can easily just pan away from that angle and go to a different angle. So that's pretty much it. We're not going to cover anything else more at the park, except we are here, we're recording, we're getting ready to shoot the show. That's pretty much it. So this is the first time that I've done a video like this. It's something that's new and it's out there. But we will see you guys probably in a few days when we start putting together the audio tracks and start splicing them all together, editing the studio audio recording and all of this stuff. So we will see you guys back in the studio here in a few days. We'll see you then. Hey everybody, welcome back. And today we are back home from our Walt Disney World trip. We had such a great time. Obviously we can't wait to go back, which is in about another year and a half. So don't get too excited. More on that at a different time. But we're going to be spending a lot of time here. We went over where we shot our videos from. So now we're going to show you guys just what goes into putting these shows together in the editing software. I will say, recording the videos, the fireworks shows, is the best part of doing this entire thing. Seeing the show for the first time was remarkable. Editing this show is really great. You might ask, why does someone put this much work into a show like this? It's because we see the show, we see the videos we've came with, and then we're seeing the final product that comes afterwards, and the work to get to that final product is what we're shooting for. I've seen how this show ends, so I'm telling you right now, this is probably the best show and most work that I've ever put into any video that I have ever done. And I'm going to show you guys a lot of stuff step by step that I do to create a video like this. So we're going to start in Premiere Pro. This is my choice of software. Please don't roast me in the comments if you use DaVinci Resolve or After Effects. It's very similar to both. I just prefer Premiere Pro. Feel free to use whatever you want to use. It's up to you. This video was shot all in 8K, as you heard me talking about earlier in the video. For the sake of the video, I left all of the videos in here in the timeline or in 8K. I'm going to tell you, even if you have a monster PC, I have a really good PC. Not the best, but a pretty decent one. When I render my videos, especially the high quality videos, I like to render them in 1080p. For the simple fact, it's a lot easier to view files that are in a lower resolution, but you're still able to see the quality of the video. So we're going to click on our sequence here. We're going to go up here to sequence settings. And as you can see, our frame size is 7680 by 4320. That's 8K. We're going to downscale it to 1080p, which is 1920 by 1080. We're going to hit enter and enter, and it automatically puts everything at 1080p. So how do we rescale it? We're going to right click on the first one, scale the frame size. There you go. On the second one, right click, scale the frame size. There we go. Next one, same process for every one of the videos. I'm going to explain what these videos are in just a moment. One more. Here we go. These are the 4 angles that we shot when we were at Disney World. I know you're saying, but James, you're saying 4 videos, but they're showing up 5. One of the nights of fireworks recording was canceled, so we had to use our back angle as our mid angle. This is something that I don't like to do, not even a little bit, but you know, there's nothing you can do about a canceled fireworks show, and I couldn't necessarily, with a toddler, stay an extra day because we had already spent probably about $9,000. So staying an extra day was just out of the question at that point, especially with flights and transportation. There was too much. So this is what we're working with. I wanted to take a moment to show you guys what it is of how we get the video and the audio lined up, so that way we can start editing videos. The 5 videos are here in the timeline. As you can see, this one here at the bottom is empty. This timeline here will be where the video goes. It doesn't make sense, trust me, just bear with me. All right, but before we get there, we need to make sure that these videos line up properly. So what we're going to do is we're going to start playing the back angle first. We're going to use the back and the contemporary angles because I've already got them lined up for you guys. So we're going to listen to them. Use your ears and you'll be able to hear it. All right, so we stop it right there because that's where I've been stopping. That's where I stop things when I line them up. It's just something that works good for me. I like stopping things on the downbeat because it's just easy to remember. Because I was in band, I have an ear that's really, really good, so that's what we do. So now we go to the contemporary angle. We're going to unmute it, and now we're going to listen for the same, stop it at exactly the same time. So we stopped that right there. That's actually pretty damn close, and I was just guessing. I want to make sure that I'm cutting this right where I need it to be, so I'm going to make it big. And it's a little off, but not by much. Maybe we'll get this first time for the sake of the video. All right, so now that we're going to line these 2 angles up, and now we're going to unmute both the back and the contemporary angles, so that way they play at exactly the same time. And we're going to see if we get a modular echo.
And they all live happily ever after.
So that right there tells me when we get both of these in sync with one another, then what we do is we get the other 3 angles, or actually the other 2, because the back one is going to be, it's the same clip, so all you got to do is just line it up with that one. And you have to do it for the mid and the close angle, and then you've got everything lined up for your videos. I'm not going to do all of them here. I just wanted to show you one set in the instance of, for the sake of the video, I wanted to show you that, so that way you know how we line our visuals and our audios up. You can feel free to use whatever process you want to start and stop wherever you want. If you have a better process of doing it, please let me know in the comments, because I would definitely like to try something new. I'm always up for, you know, something good and productive. But now we're going to jump over into our audio in just a few days. So I will see you guys back then when we start working on our audio. Hey everybody, welcome back, and we are back today to show you guys how we do our audio. This is something that is a lot easier to do with audio with Happily Ever After compared to Enchantment and Harmonious. For example, the Enchantment show got changed, so the original soundtrack that came out for Enchantment, there was another soundtrack that they came up with, but I do believe that entrance just got put in there and then it never got recorded with the rest of it. So you kind of just have to mix and match. Harmonious, the official soundtrack for that, is the official songs from the movies. And it's not, some of it was cut out, some of it was not. So there's not really a good studio version of it. You kind of just have to mix and match again. But with Happily Ever After, it's probably one of the most popular shows at Walt Disney World. So there is definitely an audio track, and the track has never been changed. And I think that if the audio had been changed, it would not have been changed long. Let me just say that. We're going to be jumping into a software today premiered by Adobe. It is called Adobe Audition. If you want to pay for it, you can. This is usually about $20 a month. I use this for just about every time I edit audio. We had to go back and reshoot this. Actually, you can see I have 6 audio tracks in here, and I did this for the sake of the video. The very top one, we have the studio recorded version. I want to mute all of these because these are just here for a specific reason. And this is what it sounds like. Okay, that's our studio version. And this one here, I do believe this is the track of all of these except the studio version put together. But this one is a bit, it's a bit long. Whoa, wrong way. As you can see, it's pretty long. So we're going to have to go through and find out where it's at, where the show is. Okay, so that is really a bad sounding audio track, but I like it sounding like that for a very specific reason, because you get some of the audio, you get the crowd reactions, and most importantly, you get fireworks sounds, and that's what we're looking for here. And what we've done is it sounds bad when you combine all of these tracks into one, this one that's highlighted. But what we've done for the one down here, this is the final track. I'm going to let you listen to a section of it here in just a moment. This official audio track is used primarily as a background. That is what it's used for. It is simply put in the background just to kind of give the soundtrack just a little boost. It doesn't carry it by no means, because you have to remember the official studio version does not have any of the effects from the show that is at the park. So the Ursula section, it's not there. The fighting scene with Maleficent there, her laughing, is not there. The sword fighting between Aladdin and Jafar, it's not there because it was not originally recorded in the studio. That was added at the park. So these things have to solely rely on the track that you recorded at the park. So you have to make sure that these things are more prominent when you're using a studio version. I know what I'm saying probably makes no sense to you whatsoever. So to make it make sense, I'm going to close this out and I'm going to play a little bit of the final track so you guys can kind of see what I'm saying about it being the background and adding some extra things to it. I'm probably going to reopen this up and just open up a track so I can kind of show you you guys exactly what I did here. We're going to just use this first one here, and all right, we got that. We're going to open up a multi-track, which is what we just did. And all right, I'm just going to throw this in here just to throw it in here. And while it's uploading, we'll come here and we'll show you guys this. I'll let you guys listen to it, and then I'll tell you how I did to make it sound so beautiful and sexy. When you guys come to the live premiere later tonight, you'll understand when there's a disclaimer during the stream when I say you'll get the best experience with headphones. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to grab some headphones to put on because it sounds exceptionally better with headphones versus without. Okay, I gave you 5 seconds. Good enough for me. All right, let's play it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's what it sounds like when it's the finished track. Don't worry, at the end of this video, you guys are going to see a killer scene from the show that'll be premiering later tonight. Let's come over here. Okay, so we've got this. We're just going to act like it's just a random software. Let's get to a section of it where it's actually valuable for this. We're going to go here. We're going to drag this. Can we drag this there? We can't. We can drag this back. We can't drag it. Let's just jump. Where are we at here? All right, we'll go right there. We'll go ahead up here to clip, and we're going to go to split it. We're going to use this clip here as an example. Let's say we wanted to add a little bit more depth to it. We would come over here where you see it says presets. For the love of everything, leave the presets alone. They're bad. They suck. You can add an extra effect to your audio by coming and clicking on this, and you have these things here. You can go and mess with the reverb and noise reduction all you want. When I made the track to only for fireworks, I used the reverb a lot to be able to get the fireworks sounds in it. You're going to go to 30 bands, and you're going to come here and you go bass, increase clarity. We're going to add it, and then exit out. Now we're going to listen to it.
Your destiny lies within you. You just have to be brave enough to see it, and let your journey begin.
Now we're going to turn it off. You hit the power button, it goes off.
I will hear their every story, take hold of my own dream, be as strong as the seas are stormy, and proud as an eagle's scream.
So you can see there's a bit of a difference in the pitch. It kind of takes it down, maybe half a step, not even half a step, maybe a quarter of a step. It takes it down a little bit. But when you add enough and you make a little bit of adjustments here and there to it, because you can also add like a little bit of a mid-level boost here, and you can add that on top of it, and then you can add another one of these just normally, and you get this.
I will fly, chase the wind and touch the sky. I will fly.
So not bad. And of course, this is just a track, just me playing around with it, just showing you guys for prosperity, for the video's sake, of how you can go in with this software and make a track like that. So that's going to do it for this section here. We will see you guys back when we get ready to start editing. Hey everybody, welcome back. And today we're going to be doing a little showcasing of editing on how we edit our shows. We're going to do a quick little breakdown on how we do all of this. We went over a lot, from splicing to putting visuals and audio together, from editing an audio track, listening to an audio track, putting an audio track into the visuals. But now it's how do we use each angle? What's the thought process behind each angle? What do we think about? Why do we do this? And why do we do that? We're going to break that down for you right here. So obviously I've already started it with the mid angle. It's always meant to start in mid. If you've watched any of my shows, all of my shows always start in middle. So that's why we're doing that here. Harmonious was that way. Enchantment was that way. Phantasmic was that way. So let's come over here and we're going to edit the intro. So let's check it out. Here we go.
All right, so let's start, Mama. Let's start.
Okay, so we get here and we hear what we hear musically, and because the downbeat is so pronounced, it makes me want to make an adjustment to that. So how do we do that? We need to make sure of which angle we're going to be choosing and making sure that it's relevant to what's going on. Obviously visual, there's no fireworks going on. The only thing that's going on is lights, music, and the little projections that are on the castle. This part of the show, you see like the little flashing stuff coming up, like people are taking pictures simultaneously of the castle. You can see that somewhat from the middle. You can barely see it in the back. So obviously we want to go towards the front. So we're going to grab our close angle and drag it down. If Premiere Pro will quit acting like Premiere Pro. And this is what we've got. We're going to back it up so we can see it. This is what it looks like with that added to it, if it ever goes back. Okay, so we don't want to leave it in the front too much. We kind of want to back it back out. Anytime I do anything that's close to the castle, I kind of want to create an ambiance of the castle from a distance. Because the reason why you want to create an ambiance for a section like this is because you want the person that's watching to get the experience as if they are right there. That's what you want to accomplish with making these videos. Yes, you could be right there, but not many people try to get up in the hub right there up in front. Most people try to get in the mid or further back to get the best view so they can see projection and fireworks all at once. We've got two suggestions here. We can go to the back. So let's drag this one down. But there's a reason why I didn't use the back, and you will see here in just a moment. As you can tell, right here, someone has a cell phone up really, really high. Now, my tripod is above. I have probably almost a 7-foot tripod, and my tripod is above everyone else's head. So this guy has a selfie stick on a phone with his hand all the way up. And it was the most annoying thing. So the reason why I'm not going to use this angle is because I don't want that phone in the middle of my shot. So we're going to move that back up there like that. We could do the contemporary angle, but what's the point in that? The person viewing it is only going to see stuff from the contemporary resort. They're not going to see anything in the castle, which only leaves one angle, which is the middle, which is right here, which is what we're going to drop down right here, and we'll continue.
And they all lived happily ever after. Each of us has a dream, a heart's desire. It calls to us. And when we're brave enough to listen and bold enough to pursue, that dream will lead us on a journey to discover who we're meant to be. All we have to do is look inside our hearts and unlock the magic within.
Okay, now we're at a section where we're actually about to begin everything with the show, the story that's being told, everything's about to begin. The lock, the thing that really caught me on this when recording this is the lock. If you watch it, the lock opens up and you get like some little magical things coming out, simulating it. So what I really wanted to do is I wanted to capture those things coming out and the lock opening up, signaling a person to open their heart and let this magical stuff out. So I wanted to show that. So I drag my close angle here, and this is what we get.
Ready to begin, let the wonder take hold. We will draw you in, watch the moment unfold. Spark a dream that will.
Okay, so this section here, the castle starts, the projections start to ripple up the castle. So I use that as a cue. Okay, I really want to show this. What's it going to look like from a little further back as well? So I throw the mid angle on there on top of it. So that way a person can see that. Let's back it up a little bit so you guys can kind of see it. I want to mute the audio just so you can see it visually. If it'll play. And as it progressively and it goes more, you can see the rippling up. We want to go a little bit further back. So then we're going to jump back. And you can see it rippling at the top of the castle. And now we're going to add the audio in. This is the phone I was telling you guys about that you will probably see in my video later tonight. Feel free to roast me in the comments down below. And then we can, we can talk about people like this all the time, but
Every choice we make helps us find our own way.
all right. There's a reason for this. It's because everyone that's ever seen this show know what's about to happen. We both know there's about to be a big grand entrance of fireworks. So the best thing to do is to create a visual experience that makes it look good. Visually going from a back angle to really close to the castle and then going back out simultaneously looks really, really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing everything leading up to the big, where is it at? We're going to have to drag it, unfortunately. There we go. We're going to be showing it. We're going to be showing this angle, and as everything kind of gets ready and the fireworks get ready to come out, right as the fireworks come out, we're going to pan to the back, and it's going to give this great experience as if the camera is immediately zooming out and showing that. Visually, it looks really, really fantastic, and I'm hoping that Premiere Pro will let me do it. It's acting a little funny because, as you can see, I've got a lot of stuff going in the background. So let's see if it'll do it. Okay. We're going to go back and we're going to watch it from start to finish. This would be what I consider to be the intro. Instead of showing you guys the intro here, I've taken the liberty of pulling one up here. It's just a lot better to see this stuff in work. Granted, this is in 1080p, as it says here, not in 8K. So check it out.
All right, let's start, Mama. Let's start.
And they all lived happily ever after. Each of us has a dream, a heart's desire. It calls to us, and when we're brave enough to listen and bold enough to pursue, that dream will lead us on a journey to discover who we're meant to be. All we have to do is look inside our hearts and unlock the magic within.
Ready to begin, let the wonder take hold.
We will draw you in and watch the moment unfold.
Spark a dream that we're meant to follow, setting out for a new tomorrow. Every step we take brings a new hope, a new day.
Every choice we make helps us find our own way.
Every wish from put into motion, diving in with our hearts wide open.
The story comes alive.
So that is the intro in 1080p using the rough draft audio that we got for it. That's what we do for the entire show. And for anyone using Premiere Pro when you're doing this, I'm going to give you a little tip here. If you wanted to check the scene, all you would have to do was come here to the razor scene here, cut it at where you want it to stop, which I'm just going to use this as an example, and say we wanted to start here at the close. You can do this with any scene. You do this so you highlight the bottom, hold on now. All right, the bottom sections that you want to, and you right click and you click Make Subsequence. So what it's going to do is it's going to take the little highlighted section and it's going to put it right here. Then you can come over here and export it, and then you can watch it. And it won't lag, it'll be fully rendered. It'll usually probably take about 5 or 6 minutes, but that's a lot less time than waiting for the entire show to check your one section. This is something I found out, I knew about, but just didn't apply until later on. So this is our editing, and that's how we do the entire show. So we will see you guys. We do have a really good teaser coming for you guys at the end of this video, so make sure you stick around or fast forward to the end. And we'll see you guys when we're getting set up for the live premiere. Hey everybody, we're going to talk a little bit about the live premiere stuff and how all of this stuff plays out, but I wanted to touch base a little bit on settings. I figured this was a very common question that gets asked very regularly. I have a friend that edits video game footage, and so I told him I would put some stuff and information for him in the video. This is also for you guys, so you guys can feel free to write this down, save it, do whatever you can. These are just the settings that I use, so feel free to make changes, put your own swerve on it, whatever you guys want to do. I'm using a video I have in my timeline now as an example. I do believe the source is, yes, it is in 4K, 3840 by 2160. If you watch this video and if you're wondering why there is such a long, my screen is long and then there's black on the top and there's black on the bottom, it's because I have an 8K monitor that is a curved monitor. So this curved monitor is very, very long. So that's why it looks like that. Granted, when I do the live premiere, I will not be using this monitor. I will be using a 1080p monitor because nobody will ever be able to watch in a stream in 8K. I mean, come on. Who has 8K compatibility phones? Or not many people have an 8K monitor or have access to 8K material. So this is why I do it in HD and 1080p. So if you are recording something or rendering something in your timeline that is 1080p, then you should use this format, H.264. There's no reason for you to use anything other than H.264 because there's not really that much bitrate difference between the two. The most bitrate you're going to get in 1080p is 50. It won't go any higher. Okay, trust me, will not go any higher. There's a difference between H.264, and I'm going to explain to you why there's a difference and why I do not use H.264, because I think all of my videos were 4K and higher. I never use H.264. Never. And I'm going to explain to you why. H.264, you lose quality. And the one thing you don't want in your videos is you don't want to sacrifice quality. You always want the better quality 100% of the time. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to H.265. HEVC, H.265. That's what you want. Okay, this is going to be a higher quality video. It's going to render in a higher quality, and you're going to get better selections on it this far. I'm going to show you why. You can see that my frame rate is at 120 frames per second. It says 119.88. It's 120. Okay, not all of my video is shot in 120 frames. About 70% of it's shot in 60, but I'm going to go ahead and use 120 frames for my friend because a lot of his Crucible gameplay is in 120 frames per second. So we're going to use that anyway. 3840 by 2160 is 4K. 120 frames per second. You also want to leave square pixels. This is where it gets interesting. You want to select render at maximum depth and use maximum render quality. This will give you better quality in your video, but will also make your file size go up. Okay? This will make a longer render, larger file size, but better quality. You always want hardware encoding unless you have a really crappy graphics card and you want to use your software. If you use your software encoding, it's going to take forever for your video to render. Trust me. Your tier, you want it on high. Okay? HDR graphics, your whites. Do not, I use 100, okay? 100 is what I've always used from day one I created my YouTube, and I looked at stuff, and 203 and then 300. Trust me, 300 is bad. 203 is not bad, but I feel like 100 is right where you want to be on it. We come down here, and you've got, usually you have 3 selections. There'll be VBR 1 pass, VBR 2 pass, but here you have CBR. Anybody that's ever streamed know that that means constant bit rate. If I was, your video bit rate here will go from, let's see, what's the lowest it can go? Okay, 0.19, I think it's like, max is 240. Okay, what you want to do is you want to go to your frame rate, and you want to double what your frame rate is. So if you're shooting a video in 4K 60 FPS, your bit rate should be 120. If you're shooting an 8K video in 24 frames, your bit rate should be 50. Okay, so this one, it is, we'll say 120 frames, so I'm going to put the bit rate at 240. Now, right underneath it, it says quality. You want to select highest. What this does is it makes sure, I'm going to show you this, guys, to you. It was on good. Oh, well, now it's messed up. So now we got to go back and, what the world? Okay, whatever. Anyway, it'll increase your file size. As you can see it down here, it increased when I said slowest. And what you can do, this will give you better quality. Those are my render settings that I use. You can name whatever your file size and put it wherever you want. I always put mine on the desktop because it's the one place where I have the most space, aside from my external hard drive, which has 3 terabytes of space. But for whatever reason, it always seems to render faster to the desktop. So that's why I do it. You could hit export here, but I've been using Media Encoder as it's a lot faster. If you're using DaVinci Resolve, then you could probably just hit export. If you're using After Effects, they have something similar for that, since that's through Adobe as well. And I'm sure other softwares have other options to where you can do it. Most of them, like when I used DaVinci Resolve, it was just deliver and render. And then you could select however many you wanted to render, and then you just hit render all. So that's how you use it. Those are my export settings. Now I wanted to go over the stream settings here. If it'll let me pull it up, I don't know. I'm going to drag this right here in the middle. I wonder if I can, I'm going to try to make it a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. So I can try to break some of this stuff down for streaming and recording. So we're here to stream. This is hard set. Nothing's changed on it because I haven't messed with it in such a long time. You can go to YouTube. You want to multi-stream, you can go to Restream, connect your account, and you can access to it. You want to stream on Twitter, wouldn't recommend it. Facebook Live and all that, YouTube, blah, 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 blah. So then you come down here to output. These are going to be your video bit rate. You just have to find a section that really works for you. I'm going to show you something in using OBS where you can just figure all of this stuff out really, really quickly. We're going to go to video. This is your resolution. My resolution, I can't change it because I'm recording right now. But yeah, it's set at 60. So whatever your base canvas is what your monitor is. And whatever your output is what you're going to be streaming it as. So although I have an 8K monitor, I want to put it out to 1080p. The only bad thing about that is how long my monitor is. That's why I don't like using it when I'm streaming. We're going to close this out here, and I'm going to show you. Save changes, no. You're going to go up here to Tools, and you're going to hit Auto Configuration Wizard. It's going to ask you if you would like to auto configure for streaming or recording. You select which one you want to choose, and it'll check your internet, it'll check everything that's going on there, and it'll tell you what your video bitrate should be, what your canvas should be, what your scaling should be, what your frames per second should be. It'll tell you all of that stuff, and all you have to do if you want to keep those settings with that, you just hit apply, yes, and then you're good to go. And then you can just select to where you want to stream to, and then you're pretty well set up. So that's how all that works out, man. Live premiere. At the time this video is coming out, the live premiere will be today. So obviously I pre-recorded this for you guys. I did say we were going to be showing you guys the Hercules scene from Happily Ever After. if you guys enjoy videos like this, I know this is a long one. It's a long one, man, but it's a lot of work going into these videos. A lot of work goes into this video. So I wanted to show you guys just what goes into it. If you guys like these types of videos and you want to see me do another one with another show that I do, let me know in the comments down below. If you guys are here after watching Happily Ever After, make sure to let me know in the comments down below as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to showcase that Happily Ever After scene for you right now.
I have often dreamed of a far-off place where a hero's welcome would be waiting for me,
where the crowds would cheer when they see my face,
and a voice keeps saying